quite get it. Sunset still on 100 HP, and he's not healing for some reason. Makes him a free kill for Adinho if he pops his head around this corner, and Adinho snipes him. Black on the right side, firing fruitlessly into the radius that slows down projectiles. And against all odds, Sunset has survived till this point. But now 80% has been gained by Loud so far, and they're not slowing down.
I mean, the red roster just has to find a way to punch through. It's 90% and not even double digits for Agora Sim. This is a tough look here. Loud.
Doritos might want to go to the left-hand side. I think that's kind of needed for him. Wesley has the hypercharge here. Going to jump straight back out after he got that gem and secured that they can't get it from the mid. And now he's getting rid of all those rats there by Raider Foot. Doritos will just burn this one down. Not getting the most connections. He's there in now. This could be really dangerous for them. Wesley's going to go down. And all of the Casa Brawl members still surviving. There's the hypercharge from Kawe, though. He's getting so much in. And Doritos will burn. But Motep gets another couple from mid and keeps this count going.
Near hero play there from Kawe BR, now playing for Jims, realizing, nope, it's too late. We got to get a kill. Need to take down Motep. He's now isolated in the bottom left side, trying to make it towards it.
Pekka jumping in, trying to get the work done, but it's just not going to be enough in this situation. And Phoenix dragging a set back, still two going to be required. But they'll keep control, they'll heal up and wait for a better opportunity. But Raider Foot has a hypercharge ready to roll now, same for Wesley. Kawe in the defensive lines, no super. Oh, he's kind of just got a bit counterintuitive there. He takes one off for his teammate, but the ball's just being moved out of the way rather than stunned out, and that's going to work just about after a shot against the wall for Motep bounced straight back to him for Casa Brawl. It seemed like it was a little bit questionable at the time, kind of taking him away from the stun, but it worked in the end.
Look, you cannot argue with results. Oh goodness, look at this slow. Now onto the left side, there's a hypercharge Nita Bear encroaching on Doritos. Rate of foot in, paving the way for this goal. Slot in the left side from Phoenix ties up the score. As soon as they are sent down, they're able to get their way back. They just needed the combo. But alongside that push in, they fed hypercharge and super to the enemy side. That's one for Doritos. Now looking for the stun on Wesley. He's a bygone memory. Now on the right side, Kawe BR's got to do the unthinkable. Has a super, but it's just not possible.
Space, and Venox has been able to get forward now into that right side bush at level, really trying to pincer the extremities and leave Nico as the safe mid to into the open. Blown up as soon as they get out of the cocoon. Very nicely done. Like this Charlie pick actually has been getting a lot of value, and frankly, Christian's been hitting some great mid-range shots to charge up many of those supers one after another. That one, no exception. Dominant showing here for SK Kaladas. He'll snap up this first
late game where it's needed more. There's the pullback. Reese is primed with only 2 stars. The hypercharge is there. Now the TP's come in. Great kills. KR going to be able to use his shield on himself. Todd gets refragged. It's so close. If Prosy goes down, they're going to win, but they can't get a kill. The spin comes in, and they were retreating with such a trade.
Nicely done, Ice Crow at 384. Knows he needs to keep charging that bubble, and he can guarantee the elimination. Loco's going to be back in the game. Remember, this is Alpha 7 now with the lead. So BC Gaming won't get to overtime, even if they sit back on this. They've got to be proactive, but that looks to be difficult. Only one slash connected there off the Sashimi, and a walk-in for Ice Crow can start to take the lead back, and they're within 15%. Golden goes for a super. Derp's able to avoid it, though. There'll be another healing station, you'd think, soon enough, as Loco going to step up on the point. Blast beat is there for Derp, but not needed as Brabau was stopped in his tracks by the Frank Super, and there it is. Meg slowed on up. She can't really put some pressure down, and another healing station has been cycled. Now BC Gaming have that lead. They're eyeing the final stretch here on Hot Zone.
Brabau's just gonna have to send it. They don't have a choice at this point. Right hand in, Jubileo gets the elimination. It's a full BC stack in the middle. Golden gunning it down, but it's not going to be enough. The healing station plus all.
You've got map break, and of course we've got Brabau who can throw hedges in the way of these sharpshooters. So less concerned about the diagonal right now, and it's another blast beat catching on to Ice Crow, and they get disintegrated. Remember, BC Gaming didn't even have to win this game, but Alpha 7 sure as heck do. They need to make the grand finals to keep their postseason lives on the line, and so far they're faltering.
The longer this drags out, the more nest eggs that go down. And of course, Lumi has shown that she can cycle in these gadgets with great timing. Ice Crow caught up this time. Brabau right-hand in. Does cut them off, but doesn't have the distance to work with. This is the momentum swing that they need. They have cornered BC Gaming. This is a defensive composition. They don't like the spot that they're in. Ice Crow barely holding on. Stun goes through. Hasn't gone down yet, though. Hanging on to this left-hand side with low HP.
Ice Crow knows he's probably cooked here. Trying to bait Jubileo or someone else forward for the damage, but he's able to get back and get a Morningstar connection. And now that map control is going to go back over to BC Gaming. And with that head first connecting onto Brabau, there is nothing Alpha 7 can do to get back in the map. They are held at the fight to get out of this little L-shaped corner. as long as BC Gaming overextend. That could be a problem though. Grim and Frostbitten comes down. Brabell and Iceberg forced to back away, but on the fadeaway, Jubilee gets caught overextending into that gadget. And Iceberg takes one for the team. Alpha 7 giving themselves the lead and are happy to hand that map control over so long as these hedges can continue to shut the diagonal down and keep the Sprout in an advantageous position against these sharpshooters.
Brabell had to be nothing less than perfect there, and then Ice Crow knowing exactly the math to tank a shot was a big deal. This one's going to be a lot more troublesome. All those tick mines fanning out, the regular shots coming in as well. Ice Rink to cut off that left-hand side, and it's still Brabell popping off on the left-hand end. Another tick head goes down. This man has no shortage of supers.
Still that lead here for Alpha 7, and Ice Crow knows that he can actually sacrifice himself, offer him up, and it won't matter if he loses the stars that he has. It's too healthy a lead to be assailed here, and Alpha 7 have kept themselves in the conversation for a spot in the grand finals, or at least the semis, before it has the chance to take any more. But Ice Crow and Brabell looking a little worse for wear, and now Jubilee starts to get aggressive, looking to come forward. Ice Crow down to 255, Brabell picked off. There's that advantage, that lead the BC Gaming we're looking for, Kenny.
Disastrous. 4-1 is a huge difference here. And now Ice Crow just has to climb up the map. Nest Egg tripping up Brabell, slowing down the push. Derp lands some big-time shots, and A7 forced away.
Brabell will remain marked here. You can see even those tick mines are going to be potentially lethal should too many of those connect in quick succession. Ice Crow's trying to come forward. Star Power Shield knocked off the Kenji. Loco here might turn his attention towards that left side, trying to keep Brabell out of the map. That's pretty wise. And as a hype charge head first comes in, Ice Crow's able to stave it off again. That star power kicked in at just the right time. Last hurrah required there for Loco to keep him safe. And now the 2-star boost for BC Gaming puts them head and shoulders above the competition. Too far ahead of Alpha 7, in theory, to be caught. Ice Crow has to go for it here. No other choice for it. He's the one that makes the play and decides when it happens. Blast Beat, though, stops him in his tracks. There's now a 3-star difference. That's tough. That's 2 eliminations required to pick up here, Kenny. With 7 seconds left in the round, looks like it could all be for naught. It's BC Gaming at 16 stars, and that's enough to get them through this game into the semifinals.
To see Loco here, definite MVP mode.
Down, but P.E.K.K.A, they're waiting with all these walls down. It does allow Casa Brawl to just bolster their health points until they decide to get rid of them. There it is, Fire Crow with the jump away. Doritos now with plenty of room to move, though. Adinho, right-hand side, taking advantage of the grass, the extra distance that comes alongside it, and a slow extra super coming in there. Loud finally retaking this.
Casa Brawl, they looked pretty strong to boot, but Loud have fired back. They've got this healing turret in position, but what they don't have now is walls. Not a single safe place to put this thing. Thankfully for them, Casa Brawl is kind of lacking in the range department, so as long as Loud push this effective line of scrimmage to the enemy spawn, then they're looking fine. No, says Doritos, gets rid of one last wall that Loud had, and now Adinho is just pretty much operating raw. No walls, no nothing, just a bit of shield to keep himself safe, and all that does is keep him alive a little longer. Now P.E.K.K.A, put in the realm, looks for the kill on Fire Crow. He popped the gadget before going into the realm, and that got him to suck in the realm. Loud is still stay alive on this point in spite of what a killer play from Casa.
That was definitely a difference maker, but it still could be a loss. Fire Crow dealing with P.E.K.K.A up top. Motep back in the turret now. All 3 Loud members hurtled around the healing station as Doritos punches one right up the middle. P.E.K.K.A going for super. Does tag Kaio Dog, but the healing station there for constant pressure. Loud hold on all 3.
Situation. He does have the hyper charge though, so he should be able to take anybody but Prosy in that 1v1 matchup. If he TPs in, then he might have some issues. Here's the hyper charge now. RHZ trying to get some shots in. Wants to get a super to be able to use this hyper charge. Nice pull there as well. And there's the hyper charge forwards, and another one adding on as well as Prosy pops his. Hubi can't get the job done, and that is going to be the game, set, and match.
In the application of these Morning Stars, any free damage on Mortis is going to matter, and Adinho, nicely done. 2 out of 3 shots there onto the Mortis kit. Able to predict the movements of that slippery sucker pretty well. Adinho, hands full. Get the ball forward though. Clean up Prosy as well. He'll have to settle now for an attempt.
And the Mortis just dashes out of the way. So a super wasted by KR. And he's just stuck in no man's land. Loud will win this one and take the first set. It's a bold move taking Mortis. It's either going to pay off massively or really be a bit of it.
The kill. Kristen trying to play at the back, but he's 1 mine away from demise, and that rocket rain does very little then, well, it's just bark and no bite, I'll be honest with you. RHC, last one standing. Surely time is short. Gonna pop that.
It's a lovely shot around the wall. Kyodog super in hand, wants to challenge Prosy and does, goes for it now, but no help from his teammates might be the end of him. They can't get the trade just yet either, and there's the jump coming in from KR. Firecrow's gonna go down, and Nadinho needs to catch up with them. Try and get the kills. He gets a shot in. Here's the hyperdrive, but he jumps into no man's land and can't get out there. Kyodog going in again, gets the gems, and there's another 2 down the side, but 16 in the hands of SKC are not gonna be able to be retrieved by Loud now, and they'll come again as they try to win this second match. Perfectly through the wall into an accidental hit on Firecrow. Nadinho trying to stay alive here, but they've got hypercharge coming in from both the Grey, and here it is from the RT, but he's gone in when they had the lead, still new with the blue star, but the retreat coming in fast from the Jae Young.
Send upon him. This is going to take us to a decider set unless Loud have something to say. Once more, Firecrow steps up. Once more, he is knocked down. Managed to get himself RHZ, and Prosy looking a little bit low, but still 2 stars. That's all that stands in between Loud and victory. They've got to go for Christian. It's the only viable target if it's just going to be fine, but oh god, the Charlie is such a problem. Nice dodge there off the cocoon, but the spiderlings are still spawned as a result of it, and Prosy is still doing whatever he wants on the left side. I think Loud are cooked.
Yeah, this might be game here. Kyodog's going to come out and mech as well. There's the Lu super and no Fink super of his own to stop it. Prosy in the back line is going to be able to take down Nadinho here as well, and this is surely got to be done. Kyodog falls again, and Firecrow, the only one remaining with SKC in full control of this bush. It's going to be dangerous. Super as well. He's going to TP all the way back. Hypercharge swings there, but he's just going to pop that gadget and stay alive. This is surely going to be an SKC win, sending them back to the spawn over and over again. Firecrow's accepted defeat, and that's going to be SKC being the final grand final champions of South America in 2025.
Well, there it is. I'm going to be honest with you. The growth from this team over the course of this year has been nothing short of astounding. It wasn't until March they really made their mark